I was referring to. So now I'm going to share my screen so I can discuss on the suggested changes of the International Entrepreneur Parole Rule. So before we got cut off, I was talking about how the Biden administration is going to resume expelling immigrants, those who are apprehended at the southern border and who are coming from Central American families. One clarification I want to make is that not all people who arrive from Central American, they are all from Central America. I have seen, which I have had clients who came from all the way from Africa, and they go through 5 countries, and of course they arrive from Central America. So they are all types of nationalities, but they are all coming through the Central American countries. So they are, I don't know if they will all be labeled as coming from Central American families, even if those who come from other countries, because that's the pathway to arrive in the US, and some of them, it takes them months, some of them it takes them years. They will give you testimony of how many people don't even make it to the border, how many people die, unfortunately, before they reach the US, before they reach Mexico. They go through all these countries, like at least 5 or 6 of them. And so I don't know how they will expel all of them to this country, or if say Mexico or El Salvador or Honduras refuses to take them, what's going to happen? Because some of them, they don't even have any ID, no paper of identification other than their word, like they tell you where they come from. Okay, all right. So now let me share the screen with you so we can, again, whoever is joining right now, please, I'm not good at this whole YouTube thingy, like, subscribe, like, share, but hey, please do subscribe, please do share. So here's our information. So we have a website which has a lot of information. We stay up to date, or either every information that I present here, we actually have articles prepared in length for you to go and check out on our website. And this is our office address in case you would like to call and schedule an appointment with me. And this is our contact number and email. Okay, so now let's get to it, and I'm going to make it, I'm going to do a slideshow. That way I'm going to expand so you can see. I don't think you need to see my face. You've seen enough of it, right? So now I'm going to discuss on 5 suggested changes to the IEP rule. We've already discussed what is IEP. IEP is the International Entrepreneur Parole Rule. Okay, so what are suggested changes? So first of all, one observation, which I really made in my presentation, and then later the EB5 committee of the Immigration Lawyers Association actually really wrote an article expressing similar sentiment on this rule. So let me move my things I can see. So the definition of what was qualified investment is very restrictive, right? So it doesn't allow investment from families, and it doesn't allow investment from the entrepreneur, from parents, from brother, sister, daughter. Like, it does not allow it. And most entrepreneurs, when they come I mean, those, because as attorneys, we actually deal with the practical and the real life needs of immigrants, or potential immigrants, potential entrepreneurs, international entrepreneurs, all sorts of immigration related matters. So most of the entrepreneurs, they will let you know, I do have funds, I would like to invest, and I have an idea, I have a innovation, I have a business that I want to set up in the US, and here's how it's going to help the US community. Here are the skills I need to advance. So, but this rule, which was supposed to be like it's another option in case there's no other available visas, especially for those who have obtained their educational or their skills here in the US and they have to leave because there's no visa available for them. Now, this rule was supposed to come and kind of be a gap, or some temporary solution, but it's not, because it does not allow investment from the entrepreneur or parents of siblings or brothers or even their companies. Mm-hmm. So now, and of course, like I said, if the goal is to advance a significant public benefit, I don't know why you should restrict where the investment is coming from, because there's a way to vet that this investment is legit, the source of the funds and everything. So, and that has nothing to do with how it's gonna help rapid business growth and job creation, because a family member has contributed to the funds of the entrepreneur. Okay, so, and also there is a restrictive definition of the qualified investor. So the current regulation requires the investor to be a U.S. citizen or lawful permanent resident organization, majority owned by a U.S. citizen or lawful permanent resident. And also you have to have a track record of making investment and creating jobs. It's not like it's any type of investment. You have to have made track of record making investment for 500,000, or you have to show some type of $500,000, 2 year of success record. It's the requirement is very high, and in reality, for anybody who has invested or who has created a business, how many people can show within 2 years that they have generated 200? Like if you give them 250,000, within 2 years they will show you 500 revenue. They can show you they have created jobs. You can create jobs with 250,000, but to have a revenue of 500, it's probably not easy to achieve, because each company, each investment in the beginning, those are the trying years. Those are like the years you really actually lose before you make profits. So it's I don't know, it's not gonna work. All right, so then another restrictive requirement of this that has to go, should go, is that the investor, even if you obtain, last time we discussed how you apply for this parole, you apply through USCIS, and then if you are here in the US, you will need to travel. You need to travel outside of the US to be paroled in the US. And what the issue with this is the CBP, the customs, so the USCIS approves your parole, but CBP is in charge of who comes in and out the US. So they have discretion on admitting you in the US or not. So you like this parole, somebody who's here, if you have obtained, if they could allow a change of status, that would help people instead of waiting, because we don't even know how long it's going to take to get a parole approved, because it doesn't have a premium processing option. So it could take months, as other applications take months with USCIS. And in addition to that, you have to leave and be paroled in. yeah, so they need to travel outside of the US for a parole. Its status, it should go as well. It's very restrictive. And again, every like so somebody to invest that kind of money, somebody to find a loan of 250,000, or if it's coming from a private entity, or 100,000 from a government entity, the incentive of that investor, like if you come here and invest this type of money, and and then you are successful in creating jobs, you have already done you have satisfied the public benefit of the US, which is creating jobs and keeping the skills in the US. But this rule does not offer a pathway to lawful permanent resident status. You are only allowed 2.5 years renewable, and before they renew your and give you another parole status, you have to show like you have made 500,000, you have hired, you have created jobs. So there's no incentive other than just staying here temporarily, and eventually leave. If you don't have a path to a green card, then you're gonna leave your investment and leave and go, and give them a gift and just go. Well, I don't know who is gonna be that kind. So at least it says what attorneys in the not only me, they're more expert who deal with this on investment visas like EB5, which is also another investment green card, which involves a lot of funds, have suggested is at least if the DHS should allow individuals to maintain the requirement of this rule, to kind of to have like a differential to be given deference in case they are later apply for the EB2 national interest waiver, which will be discussed in the past. You can go in the last videos and see what that's in the national interest waiver option in employment-based national interest waiver entails. So this should be like a bridge to, it's like an explicit criterion for eligibility in an employment-based permanent residence category such as EB2 or even EB1. So they should be like, okay, there should be some type of inference or some type of deference to this whenever somebody applies for a green card based on national interest waiver, specifically because, again, the national interest waiver is when you have a potential or you have benefited in the area of national importance. And if you have invested in this, in this international parole, international entrepreneur parole industries or field, that means you have been approved, and you have been approved, and you obtain a second approval, like, and then you are in your second you are in the second phase of renewal of your parole status. Well, quasi status, like we discussed in the past, is not a status. Again, go back to the last to the previous videos, because I did explain a lot on this. So I will not go back to explaining the terms, like what is the international parole, how to apply. All of it has been explained in the previous video. But what I'm saying here is, if someone has been approved, because it's very hard, as we have just discussed, if you have been approved for the parole and you obtain a renewal, so it should be like an easy way in case you apply for the EB2 national interest waiver. You shouldn't have to prove too much, because you've already been approved, and your endeavor is of national importance, and it is providing national benefit, and obviously you are advancing your endeavor. So basically it should be easier to obtain NIW. So that's what we are suggesting, like that, like this restriction should be removed as well, or it should be made clear, like sort of made explicit, because you can still apply for EB2 NIW, in my opinion, if you have been approved for the parole and renewal, because yeah, it will be easier to prove. But if it's explicit, then it will be an easy process instead of basically applying for the NIW and starting from scratch to establishing all criteria for this type of visa. Okay. Right. So deference to qualified investors. Okay. Right. That also, this one it's almost the same as what I was talking about, but it's in so if someone has, because you can apply for the international entrepreneur parole, but and apply for renewal. So, but to apply for renewal is if you have to prove all these type of requirements. So let's say you invest for 2.5 years and then you don't apply for renewal, and then you kind of move on, or maybe you leave the US, you go to another country, you continue. If you come back later and apply as new, so then this is there should be deference to USCIS previous determination. Like if you already qualified as an investor one time, then the following the future applications should be easy, because deference should be given to previous qualified investor. All right, and that was it for today. So now, please go ahead and subscribe. We have YouTube, which is a new channel. I need more subscribers, because we will continue to upload more videos. I did realize a lot of people obtain information on YouTube, but we also have LinkedIn. My LinkedIn is Claudine Gasana, and Facebook, Law Office of Claudine Gasana, and Instagram, which is still new as well, trying to post more on Instagram. And of course, the website, cugasanalaw.com or cugasanalaw.com, and our phone number. So our website has a lot of information going back years since we begin. So we have more resources on our website and a way to contact us. So I wish you an excellent weekend, and I will talk to you soon. Okay, so I'm gonna stop sharing again. Thank you for watching, and those who came later, I hope you can benefit from this information. And if you have any suggestions on what we should cover, like I said, I want to discuss more immigration, because I'm an immigration attorney. I've been doing this for 11 years. 10 years. So, that's my language. But also I would like to touch more on, what else do you want to know? Like I am obviously an immigrant. I am an attorney. Is there anything you want to learn from me? I'm talking from people maybe who are not here in the US, who are watching me from other countries, from Rwanda. I can provide more. I'm planning actually my next video to talk in Kinyarwanda. I will talk in Kinyarwanda next time, and I will give more. I will not touch on immigration. I probably will give updates, because there's always updates in immigration, but also touch on the life of an immigrant, and how do you go from Rwanda and become an attorney, a licensed attorney in the United States. And how, because I get so many people emailing me, I want to be an attorney, I'm an attorney here, I want to become an attorney in the US. So instead of replying to each and one, I will make a video and I will make it in Kinyarwanda. And if you want me to make it in French, please do, but I think most people come from Rwanda, not Kinyarwanda. Okay, thank you.